Hey, welcome back to Cyber Budo. My name is Alan. Thank you for joining me. And I want to talk today about why it feels like a lot of people are very negative right now towards cybersecurity. And I'm just going to come at it from my experience as a SOC analyst, working in the industry, the things I love, the challenges, and what I think is driving this negativity towards it. And this is just going to be my opinion. I'm not going to be giving hard facts. You can do your research for yourself, come to your own conclusion. That's what I encourage everyone to do. I'm just going to share a few things that I've been thinking about and noticing. The first thing is that, well, I've talked a lot about it on this channel lately, and that's artificial intelligence is changing the game, and it's changing things very rapidly. Another big reason, and I'm kind of flogging this horse to death. I do talk about AI a bit more in another video, so go check that out. But I'm going to focus more on other things today because I feel like we're just kind of beating AI to death right now. There are other reasons why people are getting a little bit fed up. They're getting a little bit sick of this industry right now, and I'm just going to share that. So the first reason is that it's actually more profitable to sell the dream of cybersecurity. So what do I mean? The certification industry is roughly around the 4 billion mark, probably USD, okay? You can go check out the numbers, they're rough, but that's set to climb, okay? So it is a very profitable market to be in, and that is the business of selling cybersecurity, okay? And in order to sell cybersecurity, you need to sell people the dream of working in cybersecurity. And that is, getting a high-paying SOC job, becoming a penetration tester, becoming a GRC consultant. And these are all very good jobs. But let's be real, at an entry level, these jobs and working for a company these days is not as lucrative as actually owning a company that sells certifications. A lot of the labor goes into the maintenance and the creation of certifications. Once they're set up, it's just profit. And I'm not shitting on certifications. There's some really good certifications out there. I'm not going to go into it. Don't have many. I've done some schooling and I've done my Blue Team Level 1. I think anything with hands-on where you can't cheat your way through the exam. When I say cheat, I mean you have to actually know the answer or you don't. It's not multiple choice, and you actually have to have the hands-on skill to solve the problem. For example, like penetration testing, when you compromise an Active Directory, you actually have to know how to do that. So those certifications can be good. But what's happening right now is people just feel like they're being sold a pipe dream. And a couple of things happen. One, when people do the certs, they become disappointed when they don't get hired. And the people that do certs and then get hired, realize that the entry-level market is tougher than they thought, and the jobs aren't actually paying at the entry level what they expect. Now, cybersecurity jobs do pay extremely well in the senior upper ranks, especially if you have cloud expertise, and especially if you're carrying some significant specialization. Generally takes anywhere from 2, 3, 4 to 5 years. I would say 5 years puts you in that higher echelon of desirable. So there's a huge level of crowding right now. A lot of people have caught on to the cyber trend. Cybersecurity has been the headline news now for some time, and people do, whether it's consciously or unconsciously, follow trends. And a lot of people now have gone to school, done university, or they've gone, oh, that sounds cool, I want to be a hacker. And they're like, let's go try and get into cybersecurity. So there's a crowding now at the entry level, and AI is making that worse because now AI can do essentially all the tasks that back in the day you had to kind of sit down and look on Google or look through a textbook to try and find the answer to something, and it took a lot longer to produce a result. However, that was the foundation that made that person the professional they are today. Now you can just use Claude, you can just use ChatGPT, there's no real thinking, and I guess it's becoming a very big debate now whether you're actually really learning anything. I would say with Claude now, probably my thinking and problem-solving abilities probably getting worse, and that is one of the really concerning things about this technology. It's really good, but it can be over-relied on, and it feels like that's what these artificial intelligence companies are trying to do because that's how they keep people hooked on the product, and then they'll just gradually keep rolling out a more expensive tier or more expensive subscription per month. So it's definitely hard to compete. It's hard to stand out. And the honest reality is had the AI been where it's at now, would I have got my role? And it's hard to say. I don't know. I like to think that I'm a good worker, great work ethic, which I am and I do. But yeah, back when I started, AI wasn't what it was now. It has changed a lot. So people are competing a lot more. A lot of people are bitter towards this industry because there's a lot of double standards now. There's confusing job advertisements like post, say, junior level SOC analyst with at least 2 years SOC experience. That's not a junior. Fluency in Python, computer sciences degree, cybersecurity degree, plus some certs. This is being sold now as some kind of normal entry level, and it's just not entry level. Entry level should be exactly that. It's entry level, okay? It is the start of something. I really think that IT and cyber should work on like a apprenticeship model where you work your way up, right? That's just my personal opinion. I think it should start out as like an apprenticeship and you build your way up, because it does take a few years to complete a degree and it takes years to actually become specialized or good in your role. This is just my opinion. So people are getting fed up. They're feeling humiliated. They're pouring themselves out online. LinkedIn, these companies on LinkedIn are just scum, some of them. They're just taking your data, selling your data off. You're signing away when you hand over that data that you give them the rights to view that data and then keep it for 12 months or get rid of it. But I can guarantee these larger vendors are just scum and they're probably siphoning off your data. This is just, everyone's getting sick of it. I'm getting sick of it. People aren't getting called back. It's just extremely competitive right now. The salary is being stunted because of this increase in automation and AI. There's genuine restructuring going on. A lot of these large companies, they don't care about you. They don't care really about making sure that people are, going to be looked after. It's increasing their shares, their profitability, which they actually have a obligation to do. So I understand that, but this is leading to outsourcing. So your jobs are going offshore. They're going to places like India. They're going to the Philippines. People are, because these people will work for less. They can pay less because the law in those countries doesn't require them to be paid more. In Australia, we have minimum standard wages, right? And companies are trying to save a buck. They're trying to use AI more to save money. So it's an incredibly frustrating time right now. It really is. I feel lucky to be in my position, but I also wouldn't say that I feel safe, like my job's always going to be there. Things are genuinely changing and they're changing quickly. So people are annoyed, just realize that you're being sold the dream of cybersecurity and it's not always the reality. Cybersecurity is a great career path, whether you do defensive security or offensive. I say cybersecurity a lot because that's the term that people understand, but there are so many different roles in it. It's a great field, but just remember that when someone says how hard it is and then sells a solution to you, ask yourself, is that their business model? Are they profiting by, and they'll admit and they'll be the first to tell you that their course doesn't guarantee a job. And that's true, and that's fair enough. And I'm not saying these courses are a waste of money. If the course is heavily written based and you're just reading stuff and you're not really learning something or getting hands-on, I would say it's probably not worth it, all right? You need something that's hands-on, that's going to something you can interact with and do and learn, because that's how you learn. So that would be my first advice if you're doing cert. So just remember that cyber's become profitable, selling the dream to people, selling certs to people. Recruitment's also a $1 billion industry. There are people out there right now who are getting paid, getting good bonuses to recruit the finest talent. Companies are reluctant to spend time training, and in situations where companies have trained people, those people end up getting up in 6 months to a year and actually taking a better offer, and I've seen that a lot. Okay, so it works both ways, but this is the industry now and people are getting turned off it. I know that I've read stories of people who are just giving up cyber and IT altogether, going back to a blue collar or back to a trade or some other skill. And those jobs for now are definitely the safer option, if I'm being completely honest. A person who can climb a pole and fix a power line is going to get paid a substantial amount of money because it's very hard to do that, like to get the skills and to get the qualifications to do that. We don't have the technology yet to replace that, but sitting at a computer, definitely. However, as I've said in my other videos, I don't think this field's going away. I think cyber will always be around. It's just changing really quickly. And I can't say for certain exactly where it's going to go. I would just say don't give up. There are different types of people out there. You know, you're going to either be the person who is like, you know, wants to just work in cyber, or you're actually just passionate about cyber. And my advice is if you actually just like cybersecurity, you just like, you know, dyeing your hair green or, you know, getting a plaited beard that's red and going to, you know, B-sides and DEF CON and all this type of stuff, well then just do that. But if you're someone who's like wants to work in it, it is different. You know, it's a corporate job. It is a grind. Okay, so it is not an easy job. It's stressful. There's a reason why there's a shortage, because the skills that you need to be good at this job are quite challenging, and the burnout rate is very high because you're dealing with very stressful situations. I mean, these are people's companies, businesses. You know, your poor decision could get a company on the front page of whatever news station that your country's in, or in the front pages of the paper. It's that serious. So burnout is high, you know, ambiguous imposter syndrome. There's a lot of things that come with this job. So yeah, people are checking out. The reason why I want to make this video is not doom and gloom, okay? It's just, you've got to be adaptable. You've got to just have the ability to adapt. And my advice is stop putting your story online. If you're one of these people who get some kind of pleasure out of telling everyone on LinkedIn how unfair everything is, and a recruiter sees that, do you think they're going to want to hire you? Like, you've got to put yourself in the shoes, right? I get it. People are pissed, and rightfully so. They feel ripped off, their degrees, their certs. But there is more to it. Okay, there is a professional development side to this whole thing as well. People need to like you. They need to want to work with you. And it's not just about your skills. It's, can I spend 8 hours a day with this person, right? Can this person do as they're told? Will this person show up when I need them to? Because cybersecurity is heavily anchored in trust, in reliability, in integrity. If you're on call, you have to wake up and do that alert. You know, you will lose your job. It's that serious, being a SOC analyst. So consider this other aspect of things. And yeah, stop being carried away into all these, you know, remember that a lot of these creators, they're incentivized via their own platforms or via their affiliations to certifications. And me saying this is not going to be popular. Because it's the truth. It's just the truth. You can learn everything you need to learn if you want for free online, okay? It's just your level of commitment to doing it. So anyway, keep trying, reach out in the comments. But that's my opinion. Why do you think that everyone right now is getting a little bit sick of cybersecurity? I think it's just tech burnout in general. It's very common in this industry. People get kind of fed up with it. But yeah, I can fully understand why. It's almost now more profitable to be someone who talks about cyber and who makes courses and who recruits and who goes to B-sides than it is to actually work in cybersecurity. There's a stronger marketing element behind it now. So anyway, that's my 2 cents on the matter. Thank you so much. And if you liked the video, I would appreciate a subscribe, a thumbs up, and drop a comment below. Am I right, wrong, don't care, whatever. Thanks, bye.